Now in its 10th year, this is Gabnet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Yes, live from Harlem in New York City. It's time for the Ramble with me. I'm Alex. Ladies and gentlemen, there in where is it? Pahrump, Nevada. What?
No. I'm a Alabama, man.
You're
Alabama, Nevada.
Huh? You where?
Alabama, Nevada.
Alabama?
Yeah.
Fallon, Nevada.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon was born there, right?
What?
Jimmy Fallon was born there.
Yeah. No. John Wayne Bobbitt was born here.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Is that the reason you moved there?
Oh, it's not a bad idea.
Well, I told you about the time I was at the Moonlight Bunny Ranch.
Sure.
I said this, Chuck Farnham. I guess I did. I was at the Moonlight Bunny Ranch, and it was a birthday party for Hoff, Dennis Hoff.
Yeah,
and,
Dennis, the late Dennis Hoff.
And so I'm there. I was invited, so I think I may have even flown out from New York. I don't know. I can't remember.
Really?
Or it happening while I was still living in California. But anyway, I went to it. And I'm there, and blah, 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 blah. And this photographer comes along and says, "Do you mind if I take a picture?" And I go, "Yeah, fine." He's photographing it for Dennis, and for memories of the party.
Memories of the event.
Yeah. And he takes the picture, and as he does, I'm looking at either side of me. And on one side of me is John Wayne Bobbitt, and the other one was, what's his name? The guy with the girl out in Long Island that he ran a body show. Buttafuoco was on the other side of me.
Nice.
It was John Wayne Bobbitt and Joey Buttafuoco and me.
That's a trifecta.
Yeah. And the question is, which one isn't one of the two despicable people in America?
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
I'm about 25 minutes from there.
25 minutes from the Moonlight
Bunny Ranch.
Bud Light Mooney Ranch.
Yeah, it's on the way to Carson City from here.
Bud Light Mooney Ranch. That's what I'll call it from now on.
Not a bad place. I took my mom there.
I know, you told me.
Yeah.
I used to go there all the time. I was out there, and I would take my friend Paul. I told you about my friend Paul. Liked to buy me the lap dances. And he loved going to the Moonlight Bunny Ranch, so I would take him out there because I was welcomed there. Okay.
Yeah.
I could have had any woman in the place for half price because they paid 50% to
the house,
to Dennis, and they kept 50% for themselves. So I had to pay the 50% that they kept for themselves. But I never took him up on the offer. He made a big deal about the fact that was one of the few people he ever knew that didn't take him up on the offer.
It's like $500.
Huh?
It's $500, so it would have cost you about $250.
Well, I went there. Yeah, I went there to see Dennis. Okay, and in the case of my friend Paul, went there for my friend Paul, and he would then book a room, and he would go in there. And when he would come out, I would say to him, "Well, what happened?" He said, "We talked." All he wanted to do was talk to them.
Yeah.
And then I found out from Dennis that a large majority of people who go there do want to just talk.
Right. Because they're uncomfortable talking to people in the real world, and so they think they've paid for this conversation, and that's where they go to do it.
Yeah. I'm amazed. It really was quite something, But
it's a nice place.
And I said, why do you do it? He said, I guess it's to feel that I have power over women. That I'm paying $500 and they have to talk to me.
Yeah, we got power over women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never ever wanted power over women.
No.
It's never been never thrilled me. You know.
No, it's weird.
And I don't want to go. I went one time. I had a friend who went to the what's the big whorehouse.
Angels?
No, the one in Sparks. You know.
Well, that one's not there anymore.
What? Which one?
The one in Sparks isn't there anymore.
What?
There's one. There's a Bunny Ranch.
What was the big whorehouse there?
Well,
Everybody.
the Moonlight Bunny Ranch is a big one.
No,
and
no,
then
no.
across
Bigger,
the road.
the
there's
other
another
one that was bigger than that before.
Oh! You're talking about. Hold on, it's coming to me. The Mustang Ranch.
Mustang Ranch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to the Mustang Ranch with a friend. I can't remember who. Might have been Paul. I doubt it. And I went there, and I'm sitting there waiting. So he leaves, and I'm sitting there waiting. And a woman comes up and says, would you like to, have a party or whatever they call it?
Right.
And I thought to myself, well, I've never done this, because it never appealed to me, to be honest with you. So I went in and I did it. And I found it to be
It's got to be kind of weird.
The least sex for the most money that I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Because you don't feel any kind of. I mean, I want to know a woman wants me, not that she's there because I'm paying her. I think it was $200.
Right. You got to have. There has to be some kind of connection.
Yeah.
For it to happen, and that connection is not going to happen in 5 minutes. It takes years in some cases, or months, or weeks, or whatever. It's not the time you walk in the door to the time
I want to seduce a woman and have her give in to my seduction, not by force, but by the fact that she enjoys my seductive style.
You want her interested in you
for me
because of you, not because of the money exchange.
Exactly. So, I went. She did it, and it was just didn't feel anything sexual.
No, I imagine not.
I mean, I think I had an orgasm. I wanted to get my money's worth.
Yeah,
But I didn't feel it was anything less than very clinical. That's maybe the best way to describe it.
It's weird. It's just weird.
So I've never been very big into that sort of thing. Hold on a second. I have to blow my nose.
Uh-oh. I did that earlier. Yeah, I don't get it. What's the weather like?
What?
What's the weather like? It's like 17 here.
It's right now. It's we're a really hearty 35 degrees.
Oh yeah, that's a heat wave.
And it snowed last night.
Oh, we haven't gotten any snow at all here.
Yeah. Oh.
It's just too damn cold to go outside.
Yeah. Well, you're in the high desert, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah. It gets cold in the high desert. Low desert.
Does. Even in the summer.
When I used to live in Klamath Falls, I used to go through a low desert. They're very weird. It's desert, but it's low elevation, So.
Yeah, I mean, we got coyotes everywhere, and some cows moved in across the road.
Yeah.
So they're hanging out.
Yeah, you see the coyotes, and they're leading Mexicans across the border.
Exactly.
Yeah, right,
That's how that happens.
Yeah, right. They're true crop coyotes. A little stuff today. Anyway.
What do we, so Matt, we were discussing Don. What the hell? Do we have to wait 4 years for this to dissolve itself?
Well, who knows who we get after that?
Well, what about Vice President Elon?
He's already floated going for a third term.
I heard it yesterday again. And I'm not watching the news.
He can't.
I heard he brought that up.
Can't
Isn't
do
this
it. He's got to change. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Is that a constitutional amendment that makes it 2 terms?
It's got to be.
Got to be. Yeah. So, I
mean, now he said he would have beaten George Washington and Abraham Lincoln.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah.
How do you know? To begin with,
I know.
here's how stupid he is. George Washington was never elected to president.
Right.
It was the group of people, the
Right.
Continental Congress, that
exactly.
that voted him
They
in.
wanted him to be king, and he didn't want that, and so they
Right. So they
decided president.
Yeah, so they gave him president. But he
I
didn't
think
have.
I think we've now discussed more political stuff than Don knows.
Yeah, like who are the only two people in history never to be voted in as president? One was George Washington, and the other one was
Jerry Ford.
Jerry Ford. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I don't watch the news because you're just like looking at it going, nobody is this stupid. And the reality is there's at least one guy that is.
Now,
that
are you
stupid.
saying that about the person who's president or the people who voted for him?
Exactly. When I ask them questions, they can't give me an answer.
Well, no, look. I don't think I'm a stupid person.
Right.
Okay, I think I'm pretty. After all these years, I suddenly come to realize I'm pretty smart. Actually, I never thought of myself as smart, but I think I am.
Well, you know what? You know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
And these guys don't know that. They don't. Otherwise, they would go. I mean, why in your wildest dreams would you put a guy in charge of money who's been bankrupt multiple times?
Multiple.
That's the one thing you just would not do.
Well,
I mean, if I told you I was bankrupt 4 times, can I manage your money, Alex?
if you somehow were able to afford to buy a casino, would you
Right?
go bankrupt?
Exactly.
I mean, how do you go bankrupt with a casino?
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you just keep doing it and you don't pay people. You know, how many contractors got screwed by him?
Yeah.
It's like, but yet you still go over there and go, yeah, I'm going to do this work for Don, even though I know I'm going to get 1% of the bill back.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. And then they start yelling at everybody else. You're like, well, those other guys, this other guys, they weren't this bad.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's just I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. As I say, I always consider myself kind of dumb, oddly enough. But as the years have gone on, I began to realize how smart I am. Either that, or all the people around me have become more stupid. You know.
Well, I could not believe the number of people I knew who voted for that and was like, why did you do this? And they like, well, because the other guy's the worst. And I'm like, no. The reality is, all you have to do is put things in a row and go, the other guy's a problem. And now we own Greenland and the Gaza Strip.
Oh, and Canada.
And Canada, of course. Good old Canada.
Well, I just...
And Gulf of America?
Oh,
hello.
Hey, do you know that you go to Google now and it's Gulf of America?
Apple switched over yesterday.
Apple switched over yesterday?
Yeah, you check it out now on your on Safari.
Really?
It says Gulf of America.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
They're all, jumping on board to a nightmare because they all don't want to be taxed out of, existence.
Well, do you know that AP, the Associated Press, has been barred from being part of any of their press conferences because they refused to change the name of it to Gulf of America? Now,
There
is
you
that
go. Now,
any
that's a great
reason to
reason.
prevent somebody from going to a press conference?
Right. And by the way, you own that room. It's not his room. It's you and I pay for the paint in that place.
Well, I got to tell you, let's see, is it weather effect? What is it here? Flood statement for Harlem. Floods in Harlem?
Nice.
Anyway, so where were we? Oh, yeah, Trump.
The AP.
Well, I just,
You know,
I don't see why you would ban somebody because they didn't agree with Gulf of America.
well, I think if you're Hitler, then that's what you would do.
I guess.
I
But
mean, that's something like Hitler would do.
I would say the next president, if he's a Democrat, will come along and go back to Gulf of Mexico.
They're going to switch everything back again.
I think there should be some kind of laws prohibiting you from undoing what the previous president has done. But there isn't.
Yeah,
You can
well,
just write
they took away Biden's his security clearance.
They took away his security clearance. I think he still has Secret Service protection, however.
Right.
Because all presidents get that.
Right.
For life.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they would if they could take it away from him.
Well, it just wouldn't be very popular. But you know who they took security clearance away from was like the head of the FBI and
Right.
General Milley and the former Attorney General and I think the former head of the CIA or something like that. People who would be targets for assassination do not have
Right.
Secret Service protection anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, how can this be okay? He just sits in there and writes executive orders.
Well, it's not okay.
No.
And that's the problem. But you know, how old am I?
85?
That's correct. You got it right on the mark.
See?
Now, much longer am I going to live? Hey,
84. I don't know.
84. I mean,
You probably got another 10 at least, I would think.
Another 10 years?
Yeah.
You think so?
Sure.
Doesn't feel like it.
No.
Yeah, but anyway, let's say I have 10 years. Should I give a real shit or rat's ass what this guy does?
Well, you don't want to go out thinking, is this how it really ends?
It's just that I have a lot of money in stocks, and they go down because he does stuff that doesn't give
Right.
confidence in the economy,
Right.
But
he's costing you money. He's costing
He's
all of
costing
us
me a little bit of
sanity.
money, yeah, but I will still have a lot of money left, okay? So
Right.
doesn't matter what he does with Social Security or anything else. I'm
Right.
set, okay? So what do I have to worry about? Fuck it. Marjorie and I are thinking of moving to like Portugal.
Nice.
Spend our last years at least in a nice place where people don't bitch about each other that much.
Right.
Maybe Spain. Spain would be nice too. I love Spain.
Right.
I'm a fan of paella. So.
Nice.
But I mean, should I give a rat's ass?
I thought that too, and then I thought, wait a second here. I'm not going to be quiet if the guy's going to be a moron.
No, but you've got children too.
Right, and I have property, and I've got stocks, and I mean, Canada doesn't look horrible.
Canada.
Apparently, Greenland is apparently happening.
Well, you don't want to go to Greenland. Have you seen it? They've
No,
got 5 houses.
It'll be like
there.
going to Denver at some point.
Yeah, but it's like Greenland really has no personality.
Yeah.
You
Well, you know why he wants
It's
Greenland?
a bunch of little wooden shacks on a hill, and that's about it.
He wants Greenland because Musk told him there were a bunch of minerals there,
Yeah.
and there are a bunch of like lithium and stuff under Greenland.
Well, Greenland's allowing us to buy it.
Right.
And even if we own the place, it would cost us money to mine it. So,
Yeah, but he wants to own everything.
Well, because he's such a good businessman, he's been so good with his other properties. Look at what he did to Atlantic City. Just turned it into a flourishing, prosperous dump. Yeah. Yeah.
And the Trump Hotel in Vegas is for sale.
Oh, is it? Again?
Yeah.
Was it called the Trump Hotel after he
Yeah,
sold? Even
but they
after...
don't. They couldn't get a gambling license, so it's just a hotel.
What?
Yeah, the Nevada Gaming Board wouldn't give him a license.
Nevada Gaming Board? You mean the Florida Gaming Board? Or
No,
the
no,
what
and
gaming
the
board?
one in Nevada,
And wait a minute, where is the Trump
Trump Hotel in Vegas.
No, but the
is
Atlantic City is the one that went belly up.
right, but they had gambling. So when they went belly up, he bought this hotel in Vegas and applied for a gambling license. And they said, "We saw what you did to Atlantic City. We're not giving you a license." Because those guys, the gambling board here is very intense.
Yes.
And they would not let him have a license.
Yes.
You know, but you can play Keno at the Moonlight Bunny Ranch, but Trump can't get a
Trump can't get a license. Yeah. But does he own that hotel, or does it just have his name on it?
No, it's his.
It is his?
Yep. Same gold sign, same everything. No slot machines, no gambling.
Does it do well?
Well, obviously not if he's selling it again.
Oh, he is selling it again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, nobody goes to Vegas to stay in a hotel that doesn't have gambling.
Well, it seems kind of ridiculous, although I do go there for the rooms, to be honest with you, since I'm not much of a gambler.
I don't do any gambling. I don't do any gambling when I'm there, but I like the opportunity to, I like the noise and stuff.
Well, the thing about gambling for me is if you're a true gambler, it isn't winning or losing. It's the thrill of playing the game. It's the endorphins you get off of either winning or losing. I don't like to lose.
No.
It depresses me. So I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
going
not
to
a
play
big
those
fan
games
on,
in which they are set so that I'm going to have a pretty good chance of losing.
Right. Yeah, you're not there to win in their eyes.
No, and none of the games are are weighted on the side of the bettor.
No. So that'll be gone, and then I'm sure he wants to take that over too. He probably wants control of all the gambling in the country, and
he's
who
looking
knows?
at the
Tomorrow's
presidency.
another day, man.
Well, he's looking at the presidency as a money grab.
Yeah. And Elon, Vice President Elon, he's a great guy.
Oh yeah, he's terrific.
They're suing.
By the way,
suing
in
people.
Germany, he gave a speech to a right-wing party.
Yeah.
And the effect of it was so bad that his sales on Teslas went down 40%.
He's now suing. If you have a wreck in a Tesla, and you call your insurance company, well, he finds out about this, and then he starts suing you because it was your fault, not the car's fault.
Really?
Yep. That was yesterday's news. Well, he's autistic. The guy's on the spectrum.
Yeah. He's not a genius. He's a genius at hiring the right people.
Right. He never created anything new.
No.
Ever.
No.
He buys things that are already in the
Well, what about his
tinkering
space?
state.
What about his space company? Did he buy that?
That's not him either.
Well, no, it's the people who are
He
doing.
bought a company that was invested in that technology.
Okay. Yeah. But
So,
it turned into a big company, but it's because of the people there who managed to get
Exactly.
these rockets to go up and not come down.
Right.
There's
probably nothing cooler than watching one of those rockets come down back into the place where it took off.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. It's just
It's a
wonderful.
stunning-
But you can't say Musk is the genius who did it. No. Today, no one person is a genius for doing anything.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
It's a bunch of people together.
It's a group
working
of
on
people
yeah.
and one goal.
Right. And he simply put enough money behind it to do it, and the government, of course, is paying for it now.
Right.
So I have to give him credit for hiring the right people to do it. In that he's a good businessman.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it looks like we're running out of time here. We're
All right.
we're toast for yet another episode.
Oh boy,
Yeah, listen,
we've done it again.
have a good time out there. Oh, absolutely. Have a good time out there in Fallon, Nevada.
Thank you.
And,
And I will. I'll send you some pictures of stuff,
and put $1 for me on red.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Although
next time you're at the roulette table.
the kid has a theory, and so far, as long as I've used it, it works out fine.
Mm-hmm.
Always bet on Keno, only 2 numbers, 1 and 4.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Chuck Farnham. Thanks, Chuck. We'll see you next
Bye.
time.
Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Yes, folks. Yes, that's Chuck Farnham. Ladies and gentlemen, good to talk to him. Anyway, where are we? Let me just get my earphones and everything adjusted here, so that I have the right levels. There we go. Okay, good. All right. Now I gotta bring my. Oh, now you know what I gotta do. Here. I'll show you something, folks. Go here. Whoops. Where? What the hell? I don't want that. I'm screwed up here. What's that? There we go. What is that? Let me see here. Let me just get this. Where did I go? What did I want? Okay, I want this. No, but I don't want it to do that. Damn it. Oh well. Screw it. Screw it. I just won't. I'm trying to bring myself down here, and I can't do it. But if I open this up, see what happens here? Oh, well, let me see. Let me bring myself over there. Oops, not there. There we go. That's it. All righty. Let me just call it a day here. Oh, boy, it's weird. Okay, well, we're all right now. My head was too high, is what it was, and then I had to do something about it. Okay, all right, okay. Anyway, let's bring in some of our people here. We got Brian Neary, and we've got Jeff, and we've got Kevin, and we've got and there we go. There's Brian Neary, Kevin, Jeff, and me. Hi, everybody. How are you? Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Alan. Got to add Alan to the group here. Excuse me. Allergies again tonight. Doo-dah. Oh. Well, anyway. How are you all?
Hey. Check.
I don't know where they said it, but they said
There's something wrong.
How much does Tesla's stock have to tank?
Brian.
Uh-oh.
There's something wrong with your audio. There's something wrong with your audio. Let me see here. Let me test everybody else. Can you hear me, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay, and you can hear me, Tom? Tom, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
and so it's a little problem you've got, Brian. Can you hear me now, Brian? Brian, what happened to Brian? He's frozen.
He froze up.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Looks like he's at the office. Looks like he's at the office, maybe.
Could be.
Oh, a hotel.
Oh, a hotel? Oh.
So it looks like.
Yeah, well, you get that
He'll call back.
You get that wonderful...
Once he gets rid of the hookers, he'll call back.
Right, exactly. Well, it's a nice picture of him, isn't it?
Yeah. At least he's not frozen with his mouth open.
Yeah. Anyway, so how is everybody doing?
Yep. 22nd Amendment.
What?
No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of president more than once. So if they want
Take it to court.
they want to change it, they have to change the Constitution. They have to change with another constitutional amendment. Okay, just to answer. I mean, I don't know if you remember your
In order to do what? In order to
allow a person to run for more than two
right,
terms.
and that was done right after Roosevelt served
Right,
4
exactly.
terms. Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what happened.
Well, because no other president ever tried to do that beside FDR, and when it happened, they finally said, "Let's not see it happen." Let's not let it happen again. But this guy,
They'll take it to court.
Listen, by the time this guy's through, there's going to be no constitution.
There's going to be no country.
Yeah. Do you know this is kind of interesting? I'm trying to find the list here. 2 in 3 Americans say they're fed up with living in the USA. 2/3 call this society toxic. And 17% want to leave. Okay? That's where we are, So,
Hey, but we didn't elect a black woman as president.
yeah.
We don't have a black woman president. It should be better now, right?
Please, we're in a whole new paradigm now. She's no longer a black woman. She's a negress. Oh, boy. It's just, whatever. There's also this other thing that I saw where they are thinking of trying to redraw the borderline between here and Canada.
I think
break out that old Sharpie.
I think we should draw it down to the Bay Area because then I'll be in Canada.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
just bring it down,
Well, they want to draw it upwards, but I think they should bring it downwards, so far as I'm concerned.
The power of the Sharpie.
The power of the Sharpie.
It's just crazy, Alex. It's just crazy.
It's nuts. It's just nuts. And I say I didn't want to talk about Trump, but he pretty well has dominated the news. He every day he does something to get attention.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a ridiculous. By the way, did you see this? I think she's from Oregon, the governor of Oregon. Or was it Washington? Washington.
I think Washington, or Maine?
Was it Maine?
Yeah, you're talking about the.
Hill, Governor Hill from Maine.
No,
Yeah.
No, it's a woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she,
Seattle.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she took on Trump.
Yeah.
At the governor's meeting.
Was that she from Maine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought that up yesterday.
Yeah. He said, well, everybody's got to come into line with this thing. If you're not going to help us with this,
he threatened her with no funds.
This or that, whatever.
Yeah,
we're going to pull your funds. And she said, see you in court.
Yep.
Yeah.
She wasn't taking any crap from him.
No, and he didn't know what to do with it.
And she's the only Democrat who hasn't been taking any crap from him. I mean, on the Daily Show today, they showed a bunch of Democrats protesting, and it's embarrassing. They're singing like all the old songs, just this really weak stuff, People who try to swear but can't. I mean,
That was the one from Oregon.
What?
She was the one that couldn't swear, and she said, well, I'm not going to say it, but I never swear. Fuck Trump. That was the I think it was a rep, or maybe it was a governor. I don't know, but she was from Oregon.
If we have a real chance of losing it, it's because the Democrats are ridiculous, okay, and they're my party, but they're so weak. I mean, come on, start getting tough, start getting threatening, huh?
I think they got pretty tough the other night when the Republican House passed their budget with just one vote to spare. They actually tried to fool the Democrats into leaving, thinking that there wasn't going to be a vote that night. And then they started voting, and the Democrats all came back in. Some of them, like there was one guy in a walker.
Yeah.
It's just like they all came back and they all voted. So I'm pretty impressed with that. I should add, I just got this email. I'm on my granddaughter's in high school in Oakland.
Yeah.
So I'm on the parent list. I got this email from the principal. It says, she goes to Oakland Tech. It says, "Greetings, Oakland Tech community. I have learned that our students are organizing a walkout tomorrow. While we support our students in their activism and commitment to their values and beliefs, we do not condone any activity that will disrupt our school day and want to discourage students from leaving our campus. Additionally, any activity that compromises student safety is discouraged. Please remind your child that we need to their cooperation to ensure a safe and orderly learning environment for all its students." But and unfortunately, my granddaughter's going to go to school. I was hoping that she would walk out too, but her mother says she's going to go to school.
Well, I think a walkout is warranted if they want to do it. I think we should teach them that kind of activism is admirable. I can get the word out.
And the teachers with them, because tomorrow is actually they're going to have like a buy nothing day. Yeah, so I think there's going to be a lot of stuff happening.
But tomorrow's Buy Nothing Day?
Yeah, no Amazon, no Walmart, no Target, none anybody that backed out of DEI or whatever.
Well, see, I don't know if it's going to work because I didn't hear about it. And if I didn't hear about it...
Heard about it now.
Yeah, well, yeah,
but
nobody else
everybody's
has.
posting
but maybe
these
nobody
lists.
else heard about it.
You can't do anything if you go by the list.
Well, I think we
You
bought...
can't even go buy water.
We bought enough food today from this restaurant to take care of us for tomorrow, so,
There you go. Leftover day.
Well, I don't know what it's going to take, but I understand why people want to leave this country, and why they're unhappy with it, And when you get the one statistic that was just amazing is 2/3 call our society toxic. So I mean, it's ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous.
Did you read James Carville's op-ed the other day?
No.
He just says, sit back because the Republicans have a record of blowing stuff up and ruining it.
Mm-hmm.
Sit back, let them do it, and then pounce.
Well, I think he's probably got the best idea. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to probably take until halfway through next year, maybe.
Yeah.
Just before the primaries and everything, but pounce.
Well,
let them screw it up. Because they're doing a damn good job already.
Yeah.
They're pissing off the vets now.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's just disgusting to me.
Well,
I mean, there's vets that are working in vet health, human health and services, and the vets are helping the vets, and they're getting fired.
Really?
Just going into work like today, USAID, they told them to bring their own boxes.
Mm-hmm.
They took all the pictures off the wall before they got there. Anything that they started is done.
So
guy in I forgot what state he's in. 400,000 cases of peanut butter, fortified peanut butter paste that they send down to the UNICEF kids.
Mm-hmm.
He had to stop that production, pull off the labels, pull off any labels that said USAID on them. And he's still got 400,000 cases in a warehouse ready to go. And he's stuck with them all because he got a letter that said your contract is discontinued.
Yeah, we do testing for TB and tuberculosis in Africa. Bill and Melinda Gates funded a lot of stuff for us for getting the test to market. And then we give it to USAID very, very, very dirt cheap just so we can get those tests out there to people in the Africa tribes. And now they stopped all our funding for that. Not our funding, but we're basically giving them the stuff because Bill and Melinda Gates helped fund all that research for us. And then we sell it to other customers like in US for full price. And now they cut all that. Now there's a lot of testing, a lot of bad stuff is going to start happening. So
yeah,
and Brian, did you hear about the canceling the FDA meeting for for March?
Yep.
Yeah. There was going to be they have a yearly meeting where they talk about the vaccines, especially the flu vaccines that they're going to be meeting for next year. And they have to get an early start because they have to know exactly what strands of flu, or they're going to have to
They
put
make
into
the
the
mix.
vaccine, and canceling it's going to throw everything off.
Yeah, and there's something going on in Canada, Canadian something they brought up in our all hands meeting yesterday, and it sounds like we got a late start to getting that detection test for them, but there's something going on in Canada that's starting to get a little bit scary too. So, yeah, with FDA and you know, and in fact, there I saw some article today saying about there's one group that for safety admission for safety or something like that Musk is trying to clear out, and that's one of the, I think, like what Kevin was alluding to, this is one of the departments that sort of helps regulate Tesla, you know, with all the other car companies. Yep. But so he's trying to get rid of stuff like that. So he's not just doing this stuff just to clear out to say that he's saving money. Strategically, he has these departments in the back of his head that he's starting to clear out so his companies can do better.
This is a little.
He's the tool that's using the tool.
Well, the trouble is that there are so many of these things happening so rapidly that you can't keep up with all of them, and some of them, they just slide right under the radar. One of the things I heard the other day was that the government has told all the people who have these, there are certain companies that have chargers out there, charging stations out there, that they can't use their charging stations. But all the ones that Musk owns, he owns privately, and so his will be the only chargers out there.
So Biden had a huge project to populate the U.S. with more charging systems.
Yes,
and
that
now,
was it. Exactly.
Yes, and now they canceled that. So now they still have EVgo and all of these other, there's still a lot out there, but instead of populating with all these other ones, now people like my Cadillac, I can get an adapter to use Tesla chargers. So that's what they're starting to do. And next year, GM is going to adapt to the Tesla port. So then they can go to Teslas to charge, which is convenient, but people also do it at home. But now if they canceled that Biden project, and now he's going to dominate all the chargers.
Now, when you go to those Tesla chargers, because you're the guy who uses electric automobiles, when you go to the Tesla chargers, do they charge you for that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are package deals when you get the car, and then there's the ongoing service. And for me, for a Cadillac, I definitely get charged there.
Yeah. Okay, but you can use it. You can use a Tesla if you have the adapter for it.
You use it. Yeah, you can use the Tesla charger.
So in other words, there's going to be money made by Elon Musk, because he's got all those out there, and they're entirely usable because he's got them out there. The ones that Biden had out there, they're going to say you can't use.
Yeah. Well, they're the ones that are out there people can use. But there is a whole system that they had linking the whole U.S. for all these charging systems, and that project is wiped off the table now.
Wow.
So all the new stuff,
Wow.
What I was trying to say at the beginning, somebody said, how bad does Tesla stock have to tank before Elon Musk goes back to work?
Yeah, well,
meanwhile, over his left shoulder, up goes another rocket, Falcon 9.
Yeah. On a government contract. Well, you know something, there was some argument that I saw on television tonight about, on like MSNBC. Oh, by the way, I got to talk to you about MSNBC, so remind me, okay? Because there's something happening over there that's a little strange. Yeah. You notice what it is?
Well, people are disappearing.
Huh? Yeah. What?
People are disappearing.
No, that isn't it. Look at watch them tomorrow and watch the advertising breaks and see what they're running.
Saying MSNBC or NBC?
MSNBC.
Oh, I quit watching them a long time ago, but yeah, I will.
They're running these, the more you know, spots or whatever that NBC has, one after the other, after the other, after the other, during what otherwise would be a commercial break.
Oh.
And then the rest of it is like MSNBC promos and so on. I see very little advertising on MSNBC. And I want to know what happened.
Now, you're not watching that MSNBC live now, are you?
Well, the MSNBC channel.
Because it's like Fox also has Fox Live.
Yeah.
We were talking about
No,
that
no, no.
last
I'm
week.
talking about MSNBC's broadcast. Their daily broadcast.
I understand. But what I'm saying is that each one of those networks also has this new live program.
Yeah.
And there's no commercials on it. They just go to a break.
I
and
understand.
they take pictures of all around the country.
I understand
and they come
that
back.
one. I understand that one. Okay.
Yeah, I was just wondering if that's what
this is MSNBC.
And they do that. They have one as well.
No, but I'm saying that I'm not watching that one. I'm watching the regular MSNBC, and they go to a commercial break. I was watching this all day today. And
Maybe
they were going to a
advertisers
break, and it would be The More You Know, or whatever that thing is they do on NBC.
It's a filler.
Yeah,
It's a filler.
And they're like one right after the other, taking up most of the 3-minute, 2-minute break that they go to. And the only time I saw maybe one commercial in one break over a period of an hour. I think they've lost all their advertisers.
Could be.
Charlene is raising her hand.
Yes, Charlene.
Oh, Tom might be interested. Sorry, I'm interrupting, Alex.
You're not.
And before you go off the air, I hate to switch. It's a switch of topic, but the Gene Hackman thing has got me like crazy.
Well, I was gonna get into that later.
Sorry, I jumped the gun. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But whenever you're ready,
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so I mean, that I see as a major question as to what happened to those advertisers. Why aren't they advertising on MSNBC? And
MSNBC has fired a lot of their Black and Latino people.
Well, that's one thing. But another thing is, are the advertisers afraid of Trump?
Probably.
And isn't the lifeblood of any network advertising?
Yep.
And if they're not getting advertising, well, we got trouble here, So I don't know what's happening there. I really don't know what's happening there.
That's weird. I'm going to look at it tomorrow.
Yeah. But it's getting scary too, because the news people are starting to get frightened. They don't want to lose their access to the White House, which is their lifeblood, I guess. But it's now being that Trump is saying, here's who we're going to allow into press conferences, and here's who we're not. But it was never based on who was pro or con. Now it is. If you don't go along with Trump, and that's exactly what Putin does in Russia. There isn't a single reporter at a Russian press conference that ever asks a tough question.
Yeah.
And of course, they've gone through years of this intimidation. Mm-hmm. But here we go. It's pretty terrible.
Scary.
Huh? Yeah,
scary.
It's scary.
Boy, I'm glad I don't watch the news anymore.
Well, if you watch the news, you would suddenly see that they've been so intimidated that the advertisers are staying away. They must be. Because, why else are you running these public service spots? I think I saw in a period of an hour, I think I only saw one commercial, maybe two. That's a little scary. And nobody's mentioned that yet in the press. You don't see that anywhere. So what the hell? It's just another form of the intimidation of the press, who are just afraid of the whole thing. Yes, you want to talk about the Gene Hackman thing. There's nothing much to talk about. To begin with, don't feel sorry for him. He was 95 years old, for crying out loud.
Well,
that's
he
what
might
they
have been
said.
murdered. He might have been murdered.
Yeah, the door was open. He was in the mud room on the floor, and she was by the front door with a heater, and she had mummification of her hands and feet.
Well, they don't
It's
know how
getting
long
crazy.
they don't know how long they were
Yeah,
there.
they think quite a while.
Yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
they also
Poor
killed
Gene.
the dog.
No, they didn't.
Well, he died.
No, he
Somebody
died.
Killed
died.
one of two dogs. There was one alive and one dead.
In the closet.
And
There
were
two dogs in the yard running around, and one dead in the closet, which they think that's odd. I've been
Yeah.
watching all the sources, so
Well,
I love Gene Hackman. He won his first Academy Award for French Connection. I love that movie.
That was a
yeah.
great
Well,
movie.
I mean, it's the sadness of the way he went, not the fact that he
Yes.
went at 95.
That's exactly
I also
it.
feel sorry for his wife, who was only like
Yes.
65.
68.
And who knows what happened? They think it might be what do you call it?
The heater,
Murder-
the gas.
Murder suicide.
Huh?
Murder suicide.
No. What are you doing saying murder suicide? You don't know anything.
No, you ask a question and I'm answering. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
nothing is even indicating murder suicide. It could very well have been
Well,
carbon monoxide.
it's under investigation. So
Under
I mean,
investigation, right, Tom?
I mean,
Yeah.
it
no,
could-
it might be. Could be anything right
Could
now.
be anything,
Yeah.
right? We don't
Yeah.
know.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But
How long
if
is
he's
it,
in the mud room and she's in the other room, I don't think it was a murder suicide.
But they were there for quite a while, and the door was wide open.
Yeah.
And the
What is
maintenance
quite a
man
while?
called.
I haven't followed the news, Charlene. What is quite a while? A day, a week?
They were
This-
partially mummified.
They
Yeah,
said
probably a couple
perhaps a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Right.
their hands and
That's
feet were
right.
mummified.
Yeah.
The wife, they said, was mummified.
Yeah.
And that's because in New Mexico, it's dry and it's a
Yep.
heat and hot. So, that
I
led
don't
to that.
understand the mummification. I've never
I
seen
don't- I don't
a
think
dead
s-
body mummified.
I don't think they know what happened, and they say
Right,
it
they
doesn't
don't.
look like any violence, but you never know. Somebody may have.
They could have tied him up, and that could be the mummification they're talking about.
Well, you're getting ahead of yourself on this
No,
story.
you're getting. I'm just throwing things out there. I don't
I know
what
you're
happened.
throwing things out there, but when you throw things out there, then somebody said, "I heard on the internet that," So be careful what you say here.
Well, even if he was 95, I still feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel sorry if it was a premature death. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Coincidental that 3 things died in the house at the same time.
Yes, but it could
Him, his wife, and the dog.
it could have been carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
They found pill bottles all over the place.
No, but she might have been going for her pills to take her daily pills, and all of a sudden she dropped them all because she got overcome by carbon monoxide. But if you
We're all
say
speculating.
if you
that
say
we
a
don't
door
know.
was open, then the monoxide would have had some place to get
Exactly,
out.
Alex,
So,
right.
so who knows? Who knows? But
We have to see what they say. And it could be, Alan's going to take umbrage with me again, but it's going to be like a while, like maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. Each channel, the people they have that are experts on all this, it's not going to happen overnight. There has to be an autopsy and we have to wait and things like that. And, we'll hear more, but it's going to not be tomorrow.
No.
Is that okay?
When did they find him?
Today
About today or
Today.
Yesterday.
I
They found
heard-
him yesterday.
Or yesterday, whatever.
Well, I
yeah.
heard, yes, they found them yesterday, but we heard it today. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
And they thought that was odd. Why didn't we hear yesterday? But I guess it happened late. And then early this morning, we heard, right? Or
Yeah.
something. Sorry.
That's when I woke up. Yeah.
So it doesn't take the coroner long to do the autopsy. It's when they release the information that
But
makes.
don't toxicology reports take a while?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
They're gonna do that.
It'd be a couple weeks.
they're gonna have the toxicology is gonna tell everything. Either that or unless they find some bruises on the body that shows that there was some sign of violence, but they said
Right.
that what they saw didn't look like any violence was involved.
Right. Yeah.
Right, Alex.
Right.
That's what they said, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Who knows?
Well, I'm gonna watch Bonnie and Clyde and stuff like that in his honor because, I love him. He made some great films.
I love the conversation.
Yes.
I haven't seen the French Connection, but the conversation is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
It's kind of a ripoff, though,
What do you mean rip off of what?
of Antonioni's blow up.
I don't think so.
Oh yes, same thing basically.
Well, I mean, I don't know. One thing I never liked a blow up anyway. It was too confusing for me. But I think it says a lot about privacy that really has become even more relevant today.
Yeah.
It's completely shot in San Francisco, and him riding those old Muni Streetcars, and but it's a fantastic movie.
I think it was a very good movie. It was an enjoyable film, but you know, he was a journeyman actor, and he did a good job in everything he did, and you know, and we remember him fondly. He hasn't been in the business for about 20 years now because one day he decided, hey, I think America doesn't want to see me anymore. You know, it's time to go out without everybody saying, hey, you know, wasn't he terrible in that last picture he did? You know, so.
I'll tell you one of his great roles that he isn't credited is the blind man in Young Frankenstein.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
one
Tom.
of the funniest.
Yes.
One of
Yes,
the funniest parts of that movie. I
right.
really loved it.
Yep. Yep. It was great, but you know,
I watched one today just to hear one of his movies. And
which one did you watch?
oh, it's a strange one. It was like in New Orleans. I thought it was New Orleans, but I think it was really in Puerto Rico.
Well, there's a big
And
difference. You know?
He was an attorney, and
Not
two young
Mississippi
women
Burning.
were
Oh.
killed.
Mm.
And they thought he was the killer.
Mhm.
And at the end, he didn't do it. So it was strange.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, he did a lot of good films, and he was a good performer. And you know, but we also lost that girl from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes. I
Yeah.
don't know who she is though, because my husband watched that.
I do
I
know
never
who
watched
she
it.
was, and she was a very good little actress. You know, she was
Yeah.
very likable and so on. And she died. They don't know what it was, but they think she'd had a liver transplant,
Yeah.
and it might have been the transplant gone bonkers. You know.
Does that make 3, Alex, because of Roberta Flack?
Oh yeah, we do have
Yeah.
we did have Roberta Flack.
Right.
Yeah.
Monday.
I guess that would count as 3. You know.
Mm.
Yeah, they always go in 3s. There's no question about it. You know. And when they start going in 3s, I wait to see who the other one is and hope it's not me. You know. So. But then
No.
again, if I died tomorrow, nobody did. Alex Bennett died. Oh, who?
You know, I saw photos of poor Jean, and you're in great shape because, you know, poor thing, you know, he looked very frail.
Well,
The
he
last
was
picture.
95. What do you expect?
I know.
you know,
I'm sorry, Alex, but, you know, I'm going to be that way
probably
too.
will
but-
look that terrible too at 95.
No, I don't-
Oh, yeah. Look at me now. You know. So,
Well, whatever, sorry.
you know. I
We
mean,
all have to go. If we're 95, yeah, we'll all look like that, right?
yeah, well, I mean, you know, 95's old. Okay.
It is,
You
yeah.
know. And he looked like a guy who got really old, you know. And plus a lot of it has to do with he got out of the business. And when you get out of the business, you don't keep up appearances, and you don't, you know, I'm not saying you let yourself go. It's just you don't keep yourself up. How about that? You know?
They're saying he was reclusive. Remember Howard Hughes was like a recluse, you know?
No, they didn't say he was reclusive. I mean, you could see him walking down the street with his wife and his dogs and so on. You know, and there are a lot of pictures of him doing that.
But that's terrible that they were like bombarding him at that age. Leave him alone. Let him have
No,
his...
but they weren't bombarding him. He went
Paparazzi.
into retirement, and I'll tell you who else went into retirement, and a lot of actors, some actors who, especially I think sometimes the Irish ones did this. Jimmy Cagney did it.
Yeah.
Hit 65.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Hit
Yeah.
65. Said that's it.
Yeah, he did. You're right.
1, 2, 3 was his last movie up until Ragtime.
Yeah, and he did Ragtime. Why? Because his doctor told him it would be good for his health. That
Oh.
you know that he should do another movie. Not because he wanted to see him in another movie, but he felt that was something that kind of keeps you alive and keeps you vital. And so he did 1, 2, 3, and he did Ragtime. Oh, he did 1, 2, 3, then didn't do anything until Ragtime, which was about when he was 80.
Yeah.
So, you know, some of these guys retire, and that's exactly what Hackman did. He said, hey, I've had enough time, you know, rehearsing lines and learning lines and putting makeup on and having to go to this city to do this picture and that city to do that picture. And, it's time for me to retire. So he had a nice place down. Did you see that place in New Mexico? Beautiful.
Sprawling.
Beautiful. Sprawling. Yeah. Just moved down there and spent a really nice time with his wife. And, he was enjoying his retirement. So what happened, we don't know. It's a little on the strange side, but they could have a very simple explanation.
I hope so. Yeah.
Well, I think who I feel sorry for is his wife. She was only 65, but they had a good life together, and they apparently adored each other, and it was wonderful. So, anyway, I guess it's not that way with Donald and Melania, however.
The movie you were thinking of, Jeff, I think is called The Firm, about lawyers, and he was a lawyer in that movie.
He was a big fancy lawyer.
Yes, in The Firm.
Yeah.
It also starred Tom Cruise.
Yeah. That was the bad part of the film. So.
Yeah.
We've been watching this show Reacher. Any of you watch Reacher?
Not yet.
Yeah, Jack Reacher. You mean that thing?
Reacher. It's called
just
Reacher.
Reacher,
It's
okay.
called Reacher, but it's Jack Reacher.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good show. But the guy who originally played Reacher was Tom Cruise.
Right.
The guy who's currently playing him is playing him as Reacher is in supposedly the books, 6 feet tall and absolutely buffed. Okay? Not exactly Tom Cruise. But Tom Cruise brought the rights to all those films. And so this current TV incarnation, his ex-wife, I think, is one of the producers on it, Paula Wagner. So anyway, if you have a chance, it's not a bad show at all. And last night we watched, what was it, September 5, I think it was called, which had been nominated for an Academy Award for Best Writing. And it's a great film. It's about Munich, and it's about the Munich Olympics, and from ABC's side, and having to cover it and what they had to deal with and everything. It's a really good film. But it was if you get a chance to see that, that's on Hulu, and it's also on MGM Plus, I think. So
The academies are this weekend, right, Alex?
yeah. And we did. If you get a chance, you can go on the Gabnet page, and we put up our movie review of Michael Snyder and I doing a rundown of all the people who are up for the awards and who we think are going to win and who we want to see win. So,
but all those movies are silent, aren't they?
What's wrong with silent films?
They're silent. They're quiet. Nothing.
Okay.
I don't remember you doing reviews. I know who Michael Snyder is, and he does the reviews. I don't remember you and him doing reviews.
I remember it. But
what do you mean?
Every Friday.
Every Friday. Every couple of Fridays. Yeah.
Every Friday on Live 105.
Yeah, and every Friday, every other Friday or so on, we put them on here. So on the Gabnet page. You don't pay attention to what we do here, do you?
No.
Okay.
I'm stupid.
So, anyway, anything?
Wasn't there something that you wanted to say, and don't forget about it?
MSNBC.
It was the MSNBC thing.
You beat me to it, Jeff.
Got it.
Yeah, no, we mentioned the MSNBC not having any advertising. I don't know what's happening.
So on CNN, the sheriff with Gene Hackman says preliminary autopsy doesn't show signs of foul play. They will now wait for toxicology on carbon monoxide or pills. And they're thinking, just the guy was talking out loud, he didn't know, that maybe Gene Hackman had a heart attack and died, and his wife was so devoted to him that she took pills and killed herself.
I
Okay,
heard that
so what
rumor.
about the
I heard
dog?
that
What
rumor.
about the dog?
It doesn't say anything about the dog.
Well, that plays into it.
I think she could have gave the dog a pill too. Tested the medicine on the dog to see what
I
happened.
mean that's not a bad theory, but still you got the dog element in it, so you got to figure out.
They won't know until the toxicology. Like
well, the dog could have starved to death.
Could have starved to death. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a theory that she took care of both the animals and him. But the thing is, we have to find out what they think could have been the cause of the deaths and everything. But there's a lot we have to wait for.
He was in an area of your life where you've got to be planning on dying sometime soon.
Then I heard they said they think people, there's a conjecture, they think he fell. For some reason, they think he fell. I don't know where they get that from, but
well, he was using a cane, so he could have fallen. Who knows? I mean, all we know is these people are dead. Okay.
Exactly.
And we wouldn't know about them if he wasn't so well known.
Yes, right.
Okay.
And that's what makes it tragic.
Yeah.
Because you have these great, and it's sad to see, whatever, but it'll be okay. We'll find out stuff and.
Yeah, but it's. Well, anyway.
Maybe he voted for Trump and he killed himself now.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that was the case.
Doubt that.
Oh, by the way, another reason to watch Jack Reacher. Snyder told me that the guy who plays Jack Reacher on the Amazon series is a big lefty, really heavy lefty. Okay. So that makes me feel better about the show, But anyway, let me see here. What else is there in the news? I keep trying to find out stuff that might be important. Let me see here. We have Pope. Death is not the end. What is that all about?
Wait a minute. The Pope died?
No, the Pope didn't die.
No, they said Pope.
They say that the fact that he's been going through this whole thing of not being well and on the edge of death and then coming back from it and so on and so forth has upped the chances of Conclave winning the Academy Award.
I was thinking that just now, Alex. You read my mind.
And where that is all wrong, okay, is that the votes had to be in about a week ago. So, there was no Pope story going on there.
Yeah, well, when it was actually a double pneumonia, I just keep thinking about it. Remember Albert Reynoso's mafia name for Pope Francis? Frankie the Lung.
Frankie the Lung?
Right. Frankie the Lung, I remember.
Because he has only one lung.
Right,
Really?
I remember that, Tom.
Really?
So why are they talking about his lungs are filled with fluid or something,
His lungs.
That's what pneumonia is.
Yeah, but they don't say they don't say lung. They say lungs.
Maybe he's got part of the lung, but he doesn't have two full lungs.
Right, right. Where am I? There was something else I had in mind here that I figured was. Oh yeah, we have the first measles death in Texas. Congratulations, Charlie.
There'll be a lot more.
Yeah, well, what it is I think, wasn't it a Mennonite or something child, and they wouldn't give their kid the measles vaccine?
Oh, okay, no wonder.
A lot of people aren't getting their kids vaccinated, and that group is one of the worst for not doing it.
Well, the worst part about it is that, if you get the measles vaccine and you were coming down with the measles, it'll kill it. So that's a good thing about the measles vaccine, but it takes 2 shots to completely make you,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And what is the other thing they said about it? That the problem is that these kids then go to school and they give other kids measles. And that's the terrible part about it.
It's very contagious.
You know, it's kind of the same thing with like it was with COVID. You know, if you've got COVID, you're going to give it to other people. So go get vaccinated.
It's actually more contagious than COVID.
Oh, is measles more contagious than COVID? Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Before Trump took over the CDC, they announced that maybe a month ago or something like that. It's very contagious. Their concern, of course, is most kids will survive it. We probably all had it and survived it before vaccines. But the concern is taking it home to mom and dad and grandpa. And if they get measles, it could be death at our age. So
really? Maybe I better go get another measles vaccine.
I'm sure you're protected. I mean, what they know in science about it.
Didn't they say it's a lifetime protection?
That's what I heard. Read.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, so anybody got anything else that's important?
We could still talk about Israel and the Middle East. And,
yeah. What about it?
I think it sounds like nobody is agreeing.
Well, nobody has agreed.
People, they have little kids who are dead and they bring them out and they never tell anybody who's alive and who's not. And all that kind of stuff.
It's terrible. It's a terrible thing. But I like the fact that Trump is really bragging about how we're solving the problem in Ukraine.
Yeah, right.
And we want Ukraine to pay us back for all the money we gave them, which, by the way, that was never stated when we gave it to them, okay? But they want to make it retroactive, okay? And
wait
a minute, can I finish what I'm saying? And how they're planning on paying for it is getting the Ukrainians to give them precious earth metals, or what is it, rare earth metals?
Rare earth.
And they want 50% of them.
Right.
The French president was on stage with Trump, and when Trump said that they should pay us back, and he corrected Trump on stage.
No, that isn't what he corrected him on.
No.
What did he correct him on?
He corrected him on the amount that he said that the European Union had paid out, as opposed to the United States, who'd paid the majority share. And he said, no, we paid 60%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Trump is claiming 350 million when it's only like 128 million.
Yeah, like his house.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna
do an assessment on the apartment.
They always get these claims wrong, don't they? You know.
It's tax time.
Yeah. Well, he does man math. Okay. He does man math where man thinks this is 12 inches.
Right.
You know?
Internet inches.
Yeah. It's man math.
The fish I caught was this big.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, I mean, I don't know what we are to think of all of this, but what's happened is the Mitterrand was there. Or it was Macron, excuse me. Mitterrand was before him. Macron was there, and his name always reminds me of macaroon. I don't know why.
Right.
But, you know.
Me too, Alex.
Macron was there, and it kind of kissing the ring. All right. And then the British Prime Minister was there today, and he was kissing the ring. Didn't you feel that?
Because they're using him as a tool, just like everybody else is.
Yeah. But then...
And he doesn't even realize it.
Tomorrow's big star, he has stars all week long. Our star, he got to sit there at a desk and say, and tomorrow night on our program is Zelensky's in tomorrow. Zelensky's in tomorrow.
And he's been nice with words today with Zelensky.
No, do you know what he said?
They called him on the dictator.
Yeah,
thing.
didn't you call him a dictator? And he said, "Did I say that?"
Brought to you by Dude Wipes.
Yeah, exactly. Brought to you by Dude Wipes. I mean, ridiculous. Just ridiculous. So I want to see how he treats Zelensky. I mean, Zelensky isn't going to be nasty. He's not, but I don't think he's going to kiss the ring. I just don't think he's capable of that. But he wants what's best for his country. If giving you 50% of rare earth minerals to pay you back is going to get you to get Putin off your back, then maybe it's worth that. But
Panetta today, and one of the generals from back a few terms ago said that it would be good if the Europeans went over there and occupied, and we sat in the back and ran the back room. In other words, all the cyber, give them information, let them do all the policing with the real guns and stuff, and we sit in the background. But you think Trump's going to do that?
No. And do you think he's going to? You think he's going to go against his good pal Putin?
No, he's not. He's a friend of his.
I mean, just remember, folks out there who are listening to me, who are Republicans, who are pro-Trump. Yep. Okay, this guy is making friends with a cold-ass murderer. Mm-hmm. This is a guy who poisons his people when he doesn't want them as competition. People have died on his watch that we know he was responsible for. And this is the kind of person that Donald Trump is kissing the ring of. It's
and becoming.
Huh?
And becoming.
And becoming what?
He's becoming that kind of person, slowly but surely.
I just get the feeling we're living in a dictatorship now.
In a transition.
Yeah. We haven't made it completely a dictatorship yet because he hasn't coalesced all the power, but he's gotten it so the news people can't report unless they report in his favor.
Got the cabinet.
And he's got a cabinet that's completely on his side. You saw all those people in that press conference yesterday who were just, laughing at everything Trump said and so on and so forth. And I'll tell you what gets me is Pete Hegseth. Okay? Mm. I got to tell you, the American flag should not be used as a snot rag. All right? Have you seen the thing in his pocket?
He's got a handkerchief?
He's got a 5-star handkerchief. Now, a handkerchief is, what do you do with a handkerchief when you really need it?
Blow your nose.
You blow your nose on it, right? I don't think it's meant to be used in that fashion. Okay?
I'm with you, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah. But nevertheless, he has. So, what the hell? But it's just getting very daunting, and I'm very worried for this country, and I feel sorry for the people who voted for him and now have to live with this, because those people who voted for him know people right now who are getting fired.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're getting fired. I mean, it's like people.
They're getting fired.
I thought he was going to fire someone else. I didn't know he was going to fire me.
Yeah.
There's grain sitting in the ports that can't go anywhere because, the farmers have made all that, going overseas. Now it's not going anywhere. Now the farmers are going, well, what am I going to do with it?
Yep.
And guess who they voted for?
Well, most of them, you can assume that most of the farmers voted for Trump.
They said it. They said I voted for Trump.
Yeah. And I mean, what do I call these people? Stupid or gullible?
Both?
Very for sure. I mean, they've been conned by the greatest con artist of our time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a big con job. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, we knew who this guy was the first time, and they still went ahead and because, we don't like Biden. It's like, we had probably the most stable government, in years. We had, we had record employment. Yeah, we had some inflation, but that was the residue from a pandemic that Trump totally botched. And and they still went for him. I just don't believe it. It's just like,
well, I think
maybe we do deserve this. If that's what the majority.
You and I don't deserve it. Jeff doesn't deserve it. Kevin doesn't deserve it. Brian doesn't deserve it. Alan doesn't deserve it. Charlie deserves it. No, Charlie doesn't deserve it. But the people who voted for him are getting the guy they voted for. And that guy is, just wait until you see, they say the price of eggs before the year is out will go up another 40%.
Oh, jeez.
Okay? I want to see what they have to say about that.
On top of that, because they're going to start importing them from overseas.
Really?
And then there's a tariff on that, isn't there?
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
It certainly is.
To make it more expensive.
So there's your 40% right there. So I mean, it's not getting to be a very pretty world here, and I always used to believe in the fact that, well, this is a very strong democracy. It can shore itself up against anything. But I don't think that's so true anymore. I'm beginning to have doubts as to whether this country can survive Trump, because by the time he's through, he will have completely dismantled the whole democracy. I think he might even try and do away with the Constitution.
Sell the White House.
Yeah, or burn it down and get the insurance money.
Right.
Isn't that the way they do business in New York?
Yeah, really.
So anyway,
Well, I still remember what we did when it was Vietnam. A lot of people wanted to change the world at that point in the United States.
Well, the Vietnam War, the Vietnam War, here's why the Vietnam War became such a problem for the government, was because it was a very unpopular war. And it was unpopular because the very people who were being sent off to that war were the sons of citizens, of mothers and fathers in this country, who found that difficult to deal with. And the people who were younger protested it. Why? Because their ass was on the line. But in this case, who is there to fight Trump? What? So look these liberals out there who've been chanting and singing. It's embarrassing. Okay, they can't even get the words right. It's just pathetic. I've said this before. I'll say it again. You can disagree with me all you want. I totally understand why, but I'm saying that violence may be the answer, and the only reason I'm saying that is that that's the only currency this country deals in. How did the blacks get better off here in this country? Because there was a thing called the Black Panthers, and there were black riots in the ghettos, and the white people got afraid. Okay, so they understood violence at that point. Violence doesn't change anything. Well, it changed a lot of black Americans here, I'm not suggesting that we should do violence, but if it has to come to that eventually, I guess that's the answer.
I'm surprised that nobody has taken another shot at him.
Well, I don't think that's the point.
I hope he doesn't. I hope that's not
shooting him. Shooting him wouldn't solve anything.
Oh, I'm saying I hope that doesn't happen. A heart attack, that would be okay with me.
Yeah.
The other currency is the $250 bill he proposed.
No, the $5 million. What about the $5 million?
The $5 million gold card, but that's for tomorrow.
This is we'll talk about this tomorrow. The gold card, as opposed to a green card, if you have $5 million, you can get a gold card, automatic citizenship.
Like going to
Where does
Disneyland.
that money go? Where's that money going to go?
Oh, who knows? Probably in Trump's pocket.
I got to hear about this one. Yeah,
we'll talk about it tomorrow.
They proposed a $250 bill for next year with his picture.
I'm surprised I didn't get to it today. Hey, thank you very much, Jeff, for being. Oh, what did you want to say quickly?
No, I was saying.
No. Tom. Tom, quickly.
I just want to say, yeah, you brought that up about violence. I would love to have a deeper conversation about that, maybe tomorrow night.
Okay.
But I'd like to talk to you talk more about the efficacy of violence.
Yeah.
We'll do it tomorrow night.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Kevin, thank you. Thank you, Tom. Always great to see you here. Charlene Martinez, wonderful. Brian, love seeing you here. Alan, good to have you. And, of course, Charlie. Everybody, why don't you give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, okay? There they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. There'll be another one assembling any moment now. With Amy Manuel, and she is going to be taking your calls on Skype at Gabnet Live. I'll see you again tomorrow night, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.